Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Spill the Goods with our candidate series. We are here with Mike Farley. He is running in our Ward 8, so we're especially excited to get to know him a little bit better and bring him to you. And we'll probably also be door knocking for him.
Oh, thank you. Added bonus.
Yeah, I know.
We've met him. We know what we're talking about. Yeah. Mike, welcome to Spill the Goods.
Thank you. This is a lot of fun already.
Happy to have you. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm recently retired. I retired about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, like really recently retired. I'm a fourth generation Manchester guy. I was born in Cambridge. My dad was working at the time, but moved back to Manchester. I was probably 3 or 4 years old. And we moved to the South End when I was, it was 1964, I think. So I was about just before kindergarten. So I went to kindergarten at Jewett School.
Oh, that's where my daughter is going to. Obviously, my kids were right here.
Yeah, so. And I'm right in the neighborhood. In fact, I walked down from my house. I live right up around the corner, and I'm living in the house I grew up in. One of those situations where my folks, when they retired, they decided to do the beach life. So they've got a place in Hampton and they've got a place down in Florida. And my dad's passed now, but that's what they do. So I moved into the old house, and I've been living there for the past 21 years or so. I went to Memorial High School, went to OLPH. OLPH is not here anymore, but a lot of guys in the neighborhood know what I'm talking about when I say OLPH. My OLPH buddies are my strongest buddies, even stronger than Memorial.
Nice.
After that, I went to St. A's. The past 20 years, I've been working in the steel construction industry. For a really great company, New Hampshire Steel. They're right here in Goffstown. No one's ever heard of them. They're like the biggest miscellaneous metals contractor in New England, work in the Boston market. What we did was we put stairways in skyscrapers.
Oh, wow. Okay. That, I would imagine it's a lot of steel.
Yeah, and important to get right.
I worked in just about every aspect of that. I was a project manager. I was an estimator. And by the time I retired, I was a director of administration and safety and pretty much wearing 100 hats in the company. So, but it was great to retire.
So you are Manchester.
Yeah. I'm a South End guy. I'm, to the core. And it's more than, I really believe in it. I love the city of Manchester. I've heard a lot of really negative stuff about this city year after year after year after year. And it used to come from people who didn't live in Manchester and didn't get it. But now we're hearing it more and more from people who have moved in here and hate it. And I wonder, well,
why are
go
you
back
here?
where you, go back to Massachusetts or wherever you moved in from, you know what I mean? Because Manchester is a great city.
Agreed.
And that's one of the things that I think a representative needs to do up in Concord is defend Manchester, because you're up there with 400 reps. About 35 of them are from Manchester, 36, depending upon how it shakes out. And a lot of people, a lot of reps from out in the towns in the other counties, they do not understand the engine of economic prosperity that the city of Manchester is for the state of New Hampshire. And they will not offer, Manchester's homeless problem, that's Manchester's problem. Manchester's drug addiction problem, that's Manchester's problem. Now, you and I know that people come to Manchester from the towns for the services, but it's our problem. So one of the things, and I'm going to say when, because I'm very confident I'm going to work very hard and I want to win this race. When I get up to Concord, I am going to defend Manchester in those situations. We deserve help from the state because we're solving a lot of the state's problems, or at least they're falling upon our doorstep.
A lot of what's happening up at the State House is impacting Manchester, and we've talked about this a lot. A lot of the downshifting in costs hits Manchester residents very hard. It's hitting everybody in the state. Our only source of revenue, our primary source of revenue, is now property taxes. So anything that the state decides to not cover, apply for a grant for, it
comes out of the property
immediately back down to property owners.
I'd like to talk about property taxes.
Please
because
do. We do too.
They call it property tax. Okay, yes, I understand it's property taxes. But when it comes time to pay it, you're not sending in 2 bushels of corn and a ham.
Right.
You're sending cash, which you had to earn. It's
Yeah.
coming out of your income. Okay.
Yeah.
The money is coming out of your income, whatever that may be, fixed or completely prosperous. But regardless, it's money that you're sending to Concord, not your property. You're not pulling a door off the hinges and saying, okay, I'll send this out to cover my property.
That's worth
taxes.
about $500. Yeah.
But your ability, the money you have available may or may not be related to the value of the property you're living in right now. So there is
really
no connection
statement
between the bill and your ability to pay it. At one time, maybe there was. About the time when, when they set this system up, maybe. But it has not worked for people. All my life, I've been hearing complaints about it.
Well,
no one's happy with it. Right? And it has to be.
Your ability to pay, you all pay the same rate.
It has to be equalized under our Constitution, which is not a bad thing. We want everybody to pay their fair share. But this property and this property, small house. I mean, we live in the south end of Manchester. Now, then there's been some development, but the old south end of Manchester, small houses,
modest homes.
You might call them, like starter homes nowadays.
Homes.
I mean, in the old days, starter home. What are you talking about?
This is your house forever.
You're going to live there. They're smaller, and that's fine. And there are houses on multiple acres with waterfront access.
Stuff like that.
There are houses that are a family's primary residence without which they would be on the street. And there are houses that are people's fourth homes.
Yeah.
And yet we treat them all the same. I've always thought that it's only fair. And you can do it 2 ways. You can charge a higher property tax and give a big exemption for the homestead. Or you can do a surcharge on second homes, third homes.
Great.
I'm not trying to punish people for prosperity.
No.
I'm trying to have everybody, to each according to his needs and from each according to his means.
But 2% for somebody, working a full-time job with 3 kids and barely making it is going to be a lot more impactful than 2% from somebody who's on their 4th lakefront home and has the income to support that.
It's
not equivalent.
We hear very often, pound for pound, New Hampshire is the wealthiest state in the country.
Yep.
The statistics back that up. The net worth of the people here in New Hampshire is the highest in the country. Yeah. I mean, okay, we have 1 million people. We're small.
Right.
But the saturation of wealth.
And a lot of wealthy pockets.
And
I just feel it's only fair that people who have the ability to make New Hampshire greater should be asked. Now, they'll say no.
I mean, and why?
But I think that we have to explore ways to allow them to join us.
Yes.
To make, to maybe contribute the same relative percentage of what we have. To make New Hampshire great.
Yes. Agreed. We've talked about that.
I don't want to lead the conversation, but this makes me think about adequate education. Adequate. We can't agree on what that is. And I've heard the arguments that it's not much. Okay. Adequate.
Yeah.
Is that the best we can do? As now, parents, it may be, maybe it is true that despite being the wealthiest state in America, things are that bad, even for those wealthy people, that we just cannot afford to educate our kids in this country anymore. I don't buy it, and I'm running to try to change that. If I don't buy it, I think we can do a heck of a lot better.
I agree 100% with you, Mike. I am so excited to hear you say all of these things because they are all things that we have said on this show about, about the second homes and having maybe a surcharge or some sort of difference in rate, in terms of education and making sure that it goes beyond adequacy. Why not excellence? Why not be the best in terms of state revenue? I mean, you're just speaking our language. This is like very common sense to us.
You got to understand, I also realize, look, I just retired. I have had to look really hard at the numbers for over a year. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Look, and can I do this? And
yes,
and I don't know. I think we're a prosperous country. I don't think it should be that difficult, but all right, maybe it is. You know what I mean?
No.
And by the way, I am not complaining. Look,
No,
I'm a 67-year-old white guy. Okay, I've been fortunate enough to work my whole life. I've been, you know what I mean? My health, I've kept my health. I've had some tough things happen in my life, but you get over them. No disasters that have, knocked me out of the box. So I consider myself really fortunate, but not everybody is me,
Right.
And by the way, I look around and I feel like, boy, I'm pretty lucky. Maybe I ought to think about those that aren't, and see what I can do. Now, unfortunately, in the course of my career, I didn't make myself wealthy enough that I can have a foundation and, get all my rich friends to donate and actually be a charity for people. I can't do that. But I've worked for organizations that put in time and donate their effort, and I can do that. And I can go up to Concord.
Absolutely.
And see what I can do about helping folks.
And that, I think, is even more valuable than the money. Because
we need both.
We need both. We need A, to make B happen. But I think really what we have noticed in just some of our general conversations is that people are a little disengaged, they're a little disenchanted, and they need somebody like you who can come in and do the work, because New Hampshire has made it such that it's very difficult for younger generations to go up to the state house.
I want to talk about everything. I don't mean to interrupt, but when you say disengaged, I was disengaged. I was completely discouraged by what's been happening on the national stage, on the world stage. There is a resurgence of a mindset that I thought we had gotten rid of when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And we don't have enough time on this podcast to talk about when I was growing up watching my mom, go to work.
Sure.
While, a lot of other moms are making cookies for the kids in the neighborhood. My mom was in night school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm inspired by what my parents did to work hard for me. I've tried to do that for my kids, but I haven't been able to do as good a job as my parents could. My kids, I have 2 kids. One of them has passed. My surviving daughter, and I'm not looking, we all have our life. But my daughter has struggled her entire life. I'm dropping. She was a widow in her 30s. Things happen, but she has struggled her entire life. My 2 grandkids now, they're working hard. They're trying, but the American dream, I don't know if they can dream it. And I got to tell you, when my campaign material comes out, I want to restore the American dream. I want to work. I can't do it myself, but I want to work toward that. They got their MAGA.
Yeah.
I got RADA. I want to restore the American dream again because you got to have hope. And let's get back to what I was saying. I was disengaged. Didn't follow politics. I mean, you guys, I remember meeting you when you knocked on my door. Hi, good to see you. Good for doing it, but not me.
And here you are.
But you know what? I couldn't sit on the sideline. And I've done this before. I was a state rep back between 2006 and 2010. In fact, I was thinking about it today. I might have been the last Democratic state rep from Ward 8. Yeah. I got to check that, but I might have been,
We can fact check it real quick.
And I'm not trying to claim that, but I do have experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know what can be done. When I was a state rep 20 years ago, I was in my 40s. I was working full time. My boss agreed, Mike, you can go up on Wednesdays.
Love it.
But there's a bid due. Not this Wednesday, maybe? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was very, very, very hard.
It is hard.
And there's more to do than just Wednesdays. There are committee hearings every single day, not just your committee. You can go and testify in other committees. You can go and just chat with other members before the committee. You can affect things when you have the time.
Absolutely.
And I have the time now. So I'm really looking forward to being up there, working my committee, but those other committees are going to hear from me.
I love your
it.
energy. I
Same.
love it.
I'm so excited.
I know we've talked about this before too. As Jess said, it's just so exclusionary for younger folks that are not independently wealthy. I have a child and a full-time job. My job
agree
is
with
not
you.
flexible enough to allow me to serve in
Yeah,
this
no.
role. So I had to sit out, and I'm so glad we have someone like you who is motivated and energized
Agreed.
to go up there and fight for us.
Well, you do get a lot of older retired people. Older retired people who may not have grown up in Manchester
Yeah.
can be very conservative.
Mhm.
And by that, I say personally conservative.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I understand it. They're trying to conserve what they have.
Mhm.
My dad, great inspiration for me, but he always used to say, I vote my pocketbook. That's great, but I need more from you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I need to look at other people's pocketbook, because without them, you're not on an island.
Right.
We need
live in a
everybody
community. We
Yeah.
live in society.
to grow.
Agree. So what's one other thing that
Yeah.
you wish people knew about you?
About me?
About you?
Oh boy. Well, that's really a tough one. You know, that's really a tough one. For some reason, I do happen to bring out a lot of anger in Republicans.
That's okay. I'm okay with that, I think.
Even some of my Republican friends, if I choose to run for things, they
get a little
they step aside from the friendship thing a little bit. So I guess I would say, you know, I'm not a perfect person. Earlier in my life, I'm on my second marriage. I messed up.
A lot of people.
I messed up my career. I messed up my marriage, and I paid dearly. And so I guess all I would ask, okay, I admit it. Look at my life before that, and look at my life after that. Please judge me on that. As Joe Biden used to say, you know, don't judge me against the Almighty. Judge me against the alternative. And I think I can stack up that way.
Absolutely.
So why don't I say that?
Yeah.
Do you have a primary in September?
I do.
Okay.
I do have a primary.
We have a Democratic primary.
Yep.
Okay.
I would like to talk a little bit about that because I've met the other two. It's very interesting that we have three guys named Mike.
It's funny.
That are going to be running in the
All
primary. And I want to say to your listeners that I am the second Mike on the list. I will be listed second. I'm Mike F, but there's two Mike Fs. So remember Farley, Farley. You know, I'm just going to say I really want this job. I want the opportunity to go and speak for the South End of Manchester up in Concord. I want that chance, you know, and I'm just asking. If I don't get it, I'm going to stay active. You know, I withdrew to the sidelines and I just couldn't do it. So let's, you know, I will stay active in the community. That's what I really want to build. This isn't a campaign to get me elected. I want to build, you know, like with you guys and my other neighbors, a community in Ward 8 that cares about Ward 8 and supports each other. I want to communicate. When's the last time can any of you guys name our two state reps?
They're both
Mark McLean, Mark Prolix.
When's the last time you heard anything from them?
Oh, nothing. I saw, I think the last time I even saw them anywhere was they randomly pulled into me next to me at the CVS down here at the street I was running in. And I think it was Mark Prue, maybe.
They're on board with the Big MAGA agenda. They're on board with the Free Staters. They're not Free Staters as far as I know themselves, but you know, they're maybe.
I don't remember. Mark Warden is.
But
he's a flip.
I want to do it a little differently.
Yeah.
I would like to. I'm setting up a webpage. It'll be ready next week. I've never been on Instagram in my life, but I'm going up on Instagram, and I'm going to communicate with people every Wednesday or before every Wednesday session. We get a calendar. These are the laws that are going to be voted on. People should know that. There are ways to testify online. People need to know that. So I intend to put together some sort of a newsletter or maybe a report on my website that I would encourage people to just get in touch with me and we'll communicate. And you don't want to hear it anymore? It's too depressing? Okay, we'll stop. But if you want to know during the session what's going on, a little more than the union leader will tell us. I want to provide that information. I want feedback. I would like people to tell me. I have opinions on a lot of things. Doesn't mean they're right. I think they are. I do my best. But I would like to, if I start hearing, boy, everybody has a different opinion than me, I'm going to think of my dad again. Hey, Mike, if everybody's doing it different, maybe you ought to look a little differently at it,
Yeah.
So I'm more than willing to do that. I want to do that. That's what I want to do. I'm going to start knocking on doors next week. My
awesome.
printed materials should be ready early next week. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to start
great.
introducing myself to people and asking them, what's bugging you? What do you need?
You're not live on the internet yet, but when you are, where can people find you?
Excuse me. Everything is Mike #4 Manchester. So it's Mike4Manchester.com. Instagram is @Mike4Manchester. And right now I do have an email address, Mike4Manchester@gmail.com.
Right. Easy and consistent. I love it.
I'm trying to keep it easy. Yeah.
Before we go, we've been ending everything on a not so serious note, and you said you have a lot of opinions. So I'm interested in your opinion on this one. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
I've eaten it. I have eaten it. I do recall my initial reaction was extremely negative. I didn't like the idea of it, and I still don't like the idea of it. But I have eaten it.
Okay.
So
not for you, but anybody else?
Yeah, I'm more of a traditionalist. I guess I really am,
When it comes to pizza.
Yeah, a little bit progressive, but
Pizza take.
I'm a pepperoni guy, you know what I mean?
All right. Where's the best place to slice of pepperoni in town?
Oh boy, best slice of pepperoni. Don't want to offend anybody because I know a lot of guys that make this.
I said a non-controversial question.
Yeah, but this is very controversial. Well, I'm gonna go Ward 8. Why don't we go Grand Slam in Ward 8?
Okay. All right. Very good.
Great. Mike, thanks so much for coming in.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Excited to have you on.
I am happy to do it, and I will come back again anytime you want to talk politics.
Wonderful.
Whether it's for the election or not. But can I have just a second to say, folks,
Absolutely.
Please, 3 great candidates running to represent Ward 8 in the legislature. All 3 named Mike. Please make at least one of your votes Mike Farley, because I promise you I will do what you want up in Concord.
Love it.
Great.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Guys.